Earful from voters. Obamacare war is not over yet. Payback and serious actions against all those who refuse to take the citizens' call for help. GOP Senator Susan Collins is one of those people who refuse to repeal it. She is also a very loyal supporter of the Democratic Party, and now, she is going to face the consequences. We all know that we, the American people, choose who will seat and will represent us. Susan Collins, with her decision not to repeal Obamacare, lost major strong support in her state. She stabbed Trump in the back and she will not enjoy the support of Mainers anymore, reports write Forever. Collins isn't up for re-election to the Senate until 2020. But, there's been a rumor that she may make a run for the Blaine House. Right after Gov. Paul LePage, because he is term limited in 2018 and cannot run again. The new PPP poll of Republican Mainers has some troubling results for Collins. It is confirmed that more than 60% of all respondents said they won't even consider Collins for a Republican and won't vote for her for sure. All due to her vote on Obamacare repeal. People over there put their faith in someone else. According to reports that came from the state, they will vote for Mary Mayhew. Mary is a current Health and Human Services Commissioner. She is way different than Collins. She works hard and sticks to the ideology and the philosophy of the GOP. Mary is also the only one candidate who so far declared an official presidency. The end is near. All corrupt liberals and globalists are failing because they did not have the trust they once owned with lies. The worst enemies of this nation are already inside. GOP needs to pull its sins together and to refresh its own lines for the safety of all. Finally, we can see the light upon us. This is the beginning of the reconstruction of the GOP. President Trump ends Obama's Mexican truck scheme just in time. Now 100% of cargo trucks at border must. Donald Trump promised to secure the border and he's keeping his promise. He will build the wall soon, but patrol agents will also work overtime in order to stop the illegals and drugs from entering our country. Obama never thought of something like this. There will be no more smuggling drugs in our country, and we have Trump to thank for that. Conservative Tribune reports, according to a report from Judicial Watch, the administration of President Donald Trump is allowing Customs and Border Patrol officials to thoroughly screen all cargo trucks entering the U.S. through the southern border with Mexico, something that was seemingly discouraged or not permitted during Obama's tenure. During Obama's presidency, the cargo trucks weren't checked because Obama never permitted them to be checked. U.S. Customs Agent Patricia Kramer said that the order will facilitate the traffic. She also added that her co-workers will enforce the law because that's what they signed up for. Conservative Tribune reports, Kramer, a canine handler at the Nogales port of entry in Arizona, stated that massive amounts of illegal drugs are smuggled across the border while hidden inside of cargo trucks, trucks that used to generally be waved through but now undergo radiation and X-ray screening, sometimes even having their cargo thoroughly searched if the truck, driver or load raises any suspicions. It is already known that the illegal drugs are smuggled hidden in these kind of trucks, and Obama never did anything to stop it. It appears that he actually wanted the trucks to enter our country unchecked. The screening process is standard and we wonder why it wasn't happening already. We have all the modern equipment, but it appears that it just collected dust. Obama just made it easier for the drug cartels to smuggle drugs, guns, or even people over the border. However, the Mexican criminals will no longer wreak havoc in our country thanks to President Donald Trump. He proved that he cares for our country and nation. He will do anything to protect us. God bless him. Pope Francis breaks his silence on transgenders and even Trump is impressed. Pope Francis delivered a speech in front of Polish bishops during World Youth Day last week. He spoke about how wrong it is to teach children that they can pick their own gender. He also added that this is the exact opposite of God's creation. Pope Francis said that wealthy people and institutions influence the gender theory. Correct. Today, children are taught this at school, that everyone can choose their own sex. And why do they teach this? Because the books come from those people and institutions who give money, he said. Kids shouldn't be allowed to choose their own gender. Period. This is just common sense. God created man and woman, God created the world like this, and we are doing the exact opposite, he said, saying the idea of telling kids they can choose their own gender is terrible. The Pope continued, "We are living at a time when humankind as the image of God is being annihilated," Faith Family America reports. The influential institutions and people exploit God's wonderful creations for their own end. According to the Pope, this is a global problem. We are living at a time when humankind as the image of God is being annihilated, the Pope continued, connecting the abuse of the natural world with the abuse of human beings. He suggested that both stem from a lack of appreciation of humankind's God-given dignity, the Christian Post reports. However, Catholic-based LGBT group Dignity USA didn't appreciate Pope Francis' statement. A spokeswoman for the group said that people don't actually choose their gender. A gender is assigned at birth, and some people discover that they were incorrectly classified, she said. After Francis was named as Pope, he said, "Who am I to judge?" when he was asked about gay priests. However, he published a paper this year in which he rejected the idea of same-sex marriage. According to him, God's plan for marriage is between a man and a Texas Republican ruins Bob Mueller's day, sends him demand letter. Texas Republican Brian Babin is demanding for Congress to sign a letter that requests Robert Mueller to appear publicly at a congressional hearing. Of course, we know that Mueller will likely try to lie under oath. Mueller is the moron investigating the untrue collusion between Trump and Russia. He has been under fire by Trump allies for hiring lawyers who have knowingly donated to the Democratic Party. He also maintains a personal relationship with the previous FBI director, James Comey. Even the president called out Mueller for his appointments of Democratic donors. Trump has said he won't dismiss the special counsel. Advertisement. Babin's letter was found to have been sent out to Congress on Thursday. It requests that all of the members sign the letter he wants to send to the House Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte and Senator Chuck Grassley. Every nominee for a United States attorney must be confirmed by the Senate, a process that brings to the forefront any concerns regarding the nominee's ability to hold their position in a decent and impartial manner. However, as Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III and his team of lawyers investigate our very own president, we as a nation wait in the dark with very little information about those given this great authority, Babin wrote in the letter to his fellow representatives. Babin shared his serious concerns about the conflicts of interest within the special counsel. The council is of course filled with Hillary supporters. In addition, this investigation has the potential to drag on for months, or even years, and cost millions in taxpayer dollars, Babin added. There are no congressmen signed onto the letter yet, and Babin has set the deadline for September 6. What do you think about this? What if a Republican contingent were investigating Obama or Hillary? Sarah Huckabee Sanders finally reveals funny joke Trump played on gullible media. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is absolutely sick of it. She is tired of the fake news media in the White House briefing room constantly trying to play up a Trump-Russia connection that doesn't exist. It's all fake and everyone knows it. Well, she was asked why President Trump thanked Putin for expelling hundreds of American diplomats from Russia. This was clearly sarcastic, but the fake news media acted dumb and tried to pretend that he was serious. Advertisement. Well, Sanders was asked about Trump's statement to Putin. She actually had to waste her time and say that he was being sarcastic. All of these circles and loops that we have to do with the intellectually dishonest mainstream media are unreal. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has to deal with it on a daily basis. That job has to suck. It has to suck really bad on days when you have people like Jim Acosta not shutting up for 5 minutes. They seem to neglect that this all happened because Trump signed a sanctions bill that was basically veto-proof. In response, the Russian Foreign Ministry ordered the United States to cut 755 staffers, the same number Russia has in the United States, by September 1. The Foreign Ministry also said they would suspend the use of a U.S. storage facility in Moscow and a country house outside Moscow. His thanking of Putin was clearly sarcastic. Putin knew Trump's hands were tied by this measure and took action against us anyway. It's very possible that Putin's hands were tied as well. It's funny that all of these liberals hate Russia when they supported Russia during the 90s. It's almost like they will do anything they can to sabotage Trump. Sanders every day crushes the intellectually dishonest mainstream media, and it is a pleasure. Advertisement: what do you think of this? Trump ready to deport Democratic senator's family because of illegal status. As President Donald Trump enforces new immigration laws or the ones on the books, the Democrats are losing their minds. They oppose every law that confronts their open borders agenda. They even go so far as to not enforce, or at least Obama did not, current immigration laws. Which makes the illegal aliens think they can do whatever they want and get away with it. Take the curious case of Kevin DeLeon, who is currently serving in the California State Senate. He actually said that half of his family is illegally in the United States. He recently admitted that his family has false documents they use to evade the law. His supporters and other Democrats don't want to accept the fact that his family is here legally in our country. However, everyone is equal before the law. Proud Patriots cites Kevin DeLeon. I can tell you half of my family would be eligible for deportation under President Donald Trump's executive order, because if they got a false social security card, if they got a false identification, if they got a false driver's license prior to us passing AB 60, if they got a false green card, and anyone who has family members, who are undocumented knows that almost entirely everybody has secured some sort of false identification. That's what you need to survive, to work. They are eligible for massive deportation. I'm sorry, but the law applies to everyone, no matter their job or wealth. It's too bad that his family decided to stay in our country illegally. If they had all the documents, they wouldn't be facing deportation right now. DeLeon family committed a crime and they should face the consequences. Do you agree?